This is it, the finale. Let's dive right in. I'm your host, Clark Beckham, former runner-up of American Idol, season 14. Let's go. So we dive right into the announcement of the top 5, which I like. It saves them time, and it also gives us from 7 to 5, and then live voting from 5 to 1. They announced 2, so we know who the runner-up is, and then it goes to 1. First to make it through in the top 5 is Dillon James. Love it. I'm down. I love Dillon. You know that. He sings one of my favorite Eric Clapton songs in the world. I'm curious how he's going to play this on guitar because there are a lot of intricate chord changes here, and he does a pretty good job. I'm watching his hands. I think he's playing the gist of it. The band is really carrying the chords, but he's hanging along in there too. Dillon James, the entire season, has said exactly what he needed to say, and it all comes across completely genuine. And they show a couple highlights of his season and his journey so far, and things that he said that really stuck out to me. I feel like I'm becoming who I'm supposed to be. There's a song. And then something his mom said that just, got me good. She said, I love him like I lost him. Oh my gosh. That is tragically, beautifully, heartbreakingly warming. Just the fact that he went down a road of turmoil, as he seems to describe it, with drugs and alcohol and addiction, and now he's back. His mom says that she loves him like she lost him, and she's not letting him go. Again, the offstage award goes to Dillon. They just give them gold, and it totally comes across genuine, not contrived, not forced at all. Let's get into the song. This might have been my favorite performance of Dillon, and I seem to say that every week, which is amazing. He's getting better every single week. This is when he needs to do the best he's ever done, and I think he does that.
If I could reach the stars,
Good song.
I would be the sunlight in your universe.
Thank you.
Our love is really something good, or maybe if I could.
Killer runs, nice little moments, singing better and better every week. The arrangement had too many hits for me. The song is so good and chordally is so gorgeous that I would just let this song ride on through, especially that it's streamed and you don't see the live band, you don't have the people, and so these hits like bump, 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 like those don't quite translate as much when you just see Dillon alone with his acoustic guitar and a backing track that the band has already made. But all that being said, I think this is his best performance of the whole season. And good timing. Francisco. Yes! Yes! Next to make it through is Francisco. He sings Adore You by Harry Styles. Every single week, guy comes across as a star to me. The smile, swagger, confidence, singing thing that I mentioned last week is oozing out of him more and more and more. Owning the camera, smiling while he's singing. Some people might think it's a little over the top at times for their taste, but not for my taste. I'm fine with it. Just Sam sang Stronger. Now the ordering is interesting because they announce her last, but she sings third, which is interesting. Her voice sounds different to me in Quarantine Rounds than it did in Hollywood.
Gonna hold my head up, gonna put my shoulders back and look you straight in the eye. Think you got the best of me, think you have the last laugh, bet you think that everything good is gone. We're half of the same, don't take that the wrong way. You know what I mean, hearts ain't gonna lie.
And I think it's just the isolation and being by herself. She still sounds like she's trying not to disturb the neighbors. And even the tone of her voice sounds a little different to me. The lighting and video for her and for everybody all around is better. You can tell Idol's made some adjustments there. But Just Sam had some nice moments here. I did not expect Just Sam to make the 5. I wasn't freaking out that Just Sam made it in, but the fact that Just Sam beat Louis and Julia, two front runners perhaps, in my eyes, which we've been able to tell are worth nothing when it comes to this show, but the fact that Just Sam made it in over those two really surprised me here. And you can imagine how surprised, well, never mind. Another person to round out our 5 is Arthur Gunn. Definitely expected. Arthur saying, I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. I don't know the title of the song, but that's the chorus. Arthur just comes across as genuine as can be. Doesn't have a guitar for this one. It might be his first performance without a guitar that I can remember. He has a quick vibrato thing that he does that is either amazing and golden, or bothers me a little bit. When he holds out notes, there's a really quick, short vibrato. Vibrato is the term for how the pitch goes up and down while the singer sustains a note. No vibrato would be like, Vibrato would be, that just little up and down. And he does a really short, quick vibrato in his notes that, again, is either the gold in the song in his performances or can sometimes be a little off-putting just in the slightest bit, and it was for me on this one. The walking to camera back and forth, wasn't a fan of. I'm so positive that wasn't his idea. I'm sure they were like, hey, what if you walk to this camera and walk to this camera, just to give the show some dynamics and do the most you can while we're streaming and filming everything on iPhones. But I didn't love it. Not a big deal. I'm thinking at this point, if Arthur is leading the competition, he's keeping the lead from this performance. It's a great song for him, and I don't think he lost any votes with this performance. Jonny West sings Can't Keep a Good Man Down.
Don't know what I gotta do to change your mind. Hoping, baby, that you wake up and find
Thanks.
you can't keep a good man down. Oh, no, baby.
Come on.
You can't keep a good man down until my love takes hold on you.
My God.
Gonna love you so much longer.
I loved this performance. I think he did everything that he needed to do to keep the voters that he has and to gain some undecided voters with this performance. This might be my favorite performance of his all season. His control is a 10 out of 10. He gives us everything that we want here. He's got the big notes. He gives us rasp. He gives us soft falsetto moments. He's got everything in this one song. We're also seeing Jonny let loose quite a bit. Francisco as well. Like when Lionel says something about getting together, totally relaxed. He's like, yeah, man, let's hang. And just laughing. You can tell that something's kind of opened up for him. I think he's not afraid to lose and he's just wide open. Jonny's my favorite. When he does something good, I'm going to go crazy. To another contestant who might not be my favorite, if they do something just as good, I might not go as crazy. That's favoritism. And part of being an effective contestant and an effective artist is creating favor with people by what you present to them on and off stage. And what Jonny has shown me on and off stage has made me love him and favor him compared to some other contestants who I like, but I'm not going crazy over. That's the end of round one. I think the winner there is Jonny with Dillon right on his heels.
Round 2.
For round two, they're singing the song that they're going to release as the winner. All right? Typically, there's a coronation song. Typically, there are a bunch of songwriters that pitch a ton of songs to 19 Entertainment, and then they pick songs for each individual contestant, and then that's their single that they release and is pushed after the show. For this season, they're just picking a song, I guess. American Idol has done what they can with the quarantine and with the current climate of the world. And in doing so, unfortunately, we're just handed a very watered down season. Now, they've done everything they could, the best they can. I believe that. But now the single that they release is just whatever they want to sing. The contestants need to be aware of this. And Dillon chose to sing Times Are Changing. There's a performance that he did earlier that was very strong. I don't think it was a good choice for your single to release. We've seen inside of his home. We see that he's got a great studio. He's mentioned that he just writes music all the time. I was really expecting an original here, something that he wanted to present as an artist for his single if he were to win, which I think he had a chance. But instead, we've got a song that he's done before. I don't see this song being a hit. I don't see this song doing anything right now that Dillon's singing it. I get how it's relevant to what's going on in the world, but not a fan of the song choice. Francisco sang a song called Alaska. What's interesting here is Francisco picks a song that is not very well known, which I think is smart if that's going to be your single. It also tells me that I think he's got a very specific musical taste that tells me that he has an idea of what he wants to sound like. Because throughout the show, he'll pick random songs that personally I've never heard of that I think are a little outside the box of normal pop songs. And that tells me he has a specific taste for a specific style of music, which tells me he has a genre and a sound that he wants to make. So not only does he sound like a record every time he sings, but I think he also has a good sense of identity in the kind of artist he wants, judging by the songs that he picks throughout the season. Katie says he sounds like a recording. I agree. I can hear his voice singing hit songs, and I think he's got that over every other contestant. Every time I hear him sing, I'm like, I can hear hit songs being sung by this voice. Just Sam sings Rise Up. Great song. I don't know if this is gonna be your single, if it's gonna be another hit. as it was already just not that long ago, but it's a strong performance. It's a perfect song for the moment. It sounds like a coronation song. And I think this was the best performance she's done in the quarantine rounds. She still sounds a little reserved to me. I think she's at about 90%, but I think that's the best she's done so far. Had some clean runs in there. Sounded good. Arthur Gunn sings his arrangement of Have You Ever Seen the Rain? I am so happy this happened.
It's been coming down
Sing.
for some time. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain?
Oh. During Hollywood Week, his solo round, he wanted to teach the band his arrangement, couldn't quite do it, so he had to do it by himself on guitar. Now we have time, he shows the band the arrangement, they get a hold of it, and he delivers this arrangement as he had in his head in Hollywood Week, now in the finale. Not only do I love that story, but golly, do I love this song and do I love this arrangement. Out of all the performances of the whole night, maybe the whole season, I'm dying to listen to this in a recorded version. And here's the thing. They said whoever wins, a recorded version of what they're singing is released like today. So I'm recording this Monday. So the day after it's supposed to be released. So that tells me there's a recording of Arthur Gunn doing this song. Now, whether it's going to be released, what 19 Entertainment's going to do with it, I don't know. But of all the songs that have been done, I'm dying to have this on my phone to listen to at all times. I'm so obsessed with this arrangement. I think it's brilliant. It's taking a song, giving it a whole new feeling and emotion. That's the power of rearranging songs. You take a song, you put it in an entirely different sonic environment, and it sings a new way, and it communicates a new message, and it makes you feel new things. That's exactly what Arthur did here. This was a brilliant choice for a single because it's an old classic song, but it's completely different. The chorus, oh, golly, the chorus is what kills me. I want this out. I think this is a great choice for a single if you were to win. Jonny West sings an original. I think it's very smart. If you were to win, this is going to be a release. Said that a bunch. I think the original is the best choice. The song's called Making Love. Okay, a little off brand, in my opinion, for what I know of Jonny West so far. This one came out of left field for me. He's letting loose indeed. Some of the lyrics were corny to me. I think one of the lyrics says, we'll go somewhere tonight, we'll be more than friends. The line's corny to me. The chord progression's okay. It's a little corny to me too. I'm just not a fan of this one. And then he starts to rap. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all, actually. Threw me off a lot. I was really disappointed in this performance. Starting to crumble for me. The sweet, humble, nice guy that I've learned to love. That character didn't quite show through in this performance. Now, is that to say that he can't make smooth, sexy songs about making love? No. I think those are great, and I think he can do that. But it just came across weird to me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. He's got to have a ton of original songs that are great. Obviously, this is the one that he's most confident in, and this is the one that he sees as his single. If he wins, I just wasn't a big fan of this one. The judges the entire night aren't saying anything negative about anybody. I think that's just because they're scared to say something that could sway America's opinion right at the last moment.
Keith, quickly, could you pick a winner?
I lean a little into next camp by a narrow margin.
They want to leave the votes to America and don't want to sway anyone one way or the other, so they're giving positive feedback to everybody. Usually I'm not into that, but I get why they're doing it, and I'm actually okay with it. The winner of round 2 is Arthur by a lot to me. At this point, I'm like, all right, I think Arthur's got it. I think he's going to win here. I'm not positive because I think a lot of his fans are from outside of America, and so I don't think they can vote. I think that's going to hinder him, but he did everything he needed to do to keep his voters and then add some that were undecided, including myself. So who's going to win? I think everyone did what they needed to do to keep the voters they already had. So now I'm thinking, all right, well, out of the undecided voters, who did the best job of getting them? And also, how many of those are there? How many have already made up their mind? It doesn't matter what they're going to do. They're going to vote for this person. I think Jonny in the first round did everything he needed to do and more to win some undecideds. Second round, I think he could have lost a lot of votes. Now, here's the thing. The voting closed minutes after his last performance, so that could be a benefit or it could hurt him. If he did amazing, he didn't have the time for people to vote for him. But if he did something that really hurt him, maybe the people already made up their mind and they already voted. I don't know. The second round actually lost it for me. Arthur did everything he needed to do to keep his fans and did everything he needed to do to gain some. Dillon, first round, I think he was able to gain some new fans. Second round, I don't think so. I don't think he showed us anything new. Francisco, I don't think he showed us anything new to gain some new voters. Sam, I don't think she did anything to gain new voters in each round either. So I'm thinking Arthur wins. Arthur has this. Unless most of his votes would come from outside of the country and they can't vote, then that's going to be an issue. But I think Arthur got all the undecided or most of the undecided voters. And he definitely kept everyone who's been with him so far. My pick is Arthur, maybe Francisco, because he's a guy with a guitar and he's really good. Good looking, nice smile, sounds like a record. I'm thinking him. Jonny, I don't think so because the musical piano guy usually doesn't win. Sam, honestly, is actually not on my radar at all for a winner, which shows what I know. Then we've got a lot of performances by the judges, by celebrities. Luke Bryan sings a song about drinking a lot of margaritas and proves as a catalyst for the stereotypes of country music. A previous contestant named Doug, who we knew as a trash man, who stole America's hearts. Everybody loved him. Everybody cried. I think Ryan Seacrest even cried. Sweet guy. He got eliminated in Hollywood Week. He comes back to sing God Bless the Broken Road with the Rascal Flatts. I see why they did it. He's a huge factor in the popularity of American Idol in the beginning, and people seen him come back. He's so beloved. It's for his daughter. I'm into it. The only problem is that we got the top 5, and they didn't all get a chance to sing with a celebrity. Some of the best memories you can have as someone in the top 5 is you get to have that duet with a celebrity. I had my duet with Michael McDonald, one of the best moments of my entire life. My buddy Rayvon Owen sang a duet with Jamie Foxx. My buddy Kasim sang with Chris Brown. That's the kind of thing that they do on the finale with the finalists, and Doug sings with the Rascal Flatts. I totally understand why they did it, but Jonny didn't get a duet with anybody. Dillon didn't. Francisco and Arthur didn't get a duet with anybody either. That's the only thing that bothered me a little. I think Doug does fine. Wow, what a makeover. Looks amazing. Good for him. Oh my gosh. Lead singer of Rascal Flatts hits a run that surprised me and just proves, he's like, let me just prove that, like, I'm going to sing this hit that's been sung a million times and I've probably done a billion times. Let me just show somebody, like, I can do this.
Only me on my way into your love.
Hey,
This much I
boy.
know is true.
Ew. Do that again.
Only me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true.
One more. I gotta hear it all without screaming.
Only me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true. That God bless the broken road that led me straight to you.
This dude's one of the best singers in popular music. No one needs to forget that. Just Sam sings a duet with Lauren Daigle. Just Sam is the only finalist to sing a duet with a celebrity. Now voting's closed, so it doesn't matter. I don't think this proves that there was favoritism anywhere, but it's just kind of like she was the only one. Now I get it because Lauren Daigle agreed to do it. Just Sam sang her song in her audition. It was a cool moment. She cried in the audition. And Lauren Daigle's there, and it works out. So I'm sure that's why they did it. But it's like, man, she's the only one that got to sing with a celebrity. I'd love to hear Arthur Gunn sing with James Bay. Would have loved to hear Jonny West sing with Charlie Puth, Francisco, Dillon. There are some great celebrities they could have done duets with, but instead we decided to do other things. Now, there's a time restraint, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Just an observation. Then Cynthia Erivo sings, and at this point I'm like, we're going to get blessed by one of the greatest singers living on the planet.
I don't know why I let you do these things to me. That I'm stuck like glue. 'Cause I ain't never.
Love this. I'm so happy this is happening.
Steady, baby.
Hey!
That's what I feel now.
Ugh! Okay, Grace. Hey! I saw Cynthia Erivo in The Color Purple on a preview night before it was wide open to the public. And what I saw her do on that stage was the best thing I've ever seen anyone do on a stage. The best performing, the best anything I've ever seen on a stage, period. And she does Aretha Franklin and kills it. The contestants doing a great job. Love this part. Lionel Richie sings We Are the World with having the contestants sing all throughout and some past American Idol alums sing. Love, love, love that. Great timing for it. Great song. Jonny sounds amazing on his first line.
We can't go on,
Sing, Jonny!
tending day by day.
Ooh! Everybody sounds good. Catherine McPhee might be my favorite American Idol singer of all time, and she gets just a little segment of singing where she's singing some really cool runs and some other people are singing at the same time, and wish could have given her more space, but there's only so much space to go around. Now it's time for the winner. What? This proves that I know nothing. I don't know what America's gonna choose. I know nothing, which is fine. I'm learning, I guess. I was shocked. I personally don't think she's done as well in the quarantine rounds as other contestants, which is why I didn't think that she was gonna come out all the way on top. I think she was a huge standout for the whole season until the quarantine rounds happened. So maybe she rode off of all those votes from then, or maybe I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about and she's been killing it every week and I've just been in the dark and blind and she's just been the front runner the whole time. Very possible. Because when you break it down and when I really start to think about it, she's arguably the best singer on the show of the whole season. There are other singers like Sophia, Michaela, Dwayne, but she can hang with all of them. Don't forget her Hollywood Week performances. And the way that she performs, you can absolutely make the case that she was the best singer on the show of the whole season. She also might be the best performer. When she's on stage with a crowd, she crushes. She picks great songs, she has good vocal choices, and she has an amazing story. A genuinely incredible, inspiring story. Being in foster care, her mother being incarcerated when just Sam was very young, her grandmother adopting her and her sister, raising her. She's a Subway singer. These are all incredible story points in her journey from where she was all the way to the winner of American Idol. And her image is dope. We haven't talked about this. I haven't heard anyone say this. I haven't talked about it, but she looks sweet. Her tattoo on her neck is really cool. I don't have any tattoos. Don't know if I'll ever get one. Not a big fan of tattoos, but the tattoo on her neck with like the little eyes, woman eyes with the hand, it's pretty sick. It's very individual. She stands out that way. She's got a beautiful smile. She seems lovely. So maybe I just missed it the whole time. She's got the voice. She's got the story. She's got the image. She's got the performing chops. Maybe I just missed it. Is she deserving of the title? Maybe more than anybody. And am I satisfied with this? After talking this over right now in this video, yeah, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I think she deserves it. I think when live performances start coming out, she'll represent American Idol well. What she's going to do as far as an album and the kind of music she'll make, I don't know. I bet she knows. I think she could be a real success. Only time will tell. Well, it's been a wild and crazy season. I started making these videos in a hotel while I was on tour, on iMovie on my phone, and now I'm at home making these on my computer. I've had a blast making these, being a giant fangirl of so many artists. Ugh. Hey! Ugh. Sing! Come on. You better play the piano!
So good.
Ah! Oh my gosh! I'm extremely grateful for all of you watching. I'm also grateful for you guys supporting these contestants, supporting these emerging artists. Make sure you follow the people that you like. Make sure you see what they're gonna do. Go follow them on Instagram. If they have a mailing list, sign up for it so you know when their music comes out. Support these people, because these contestants didn't have a career in music, got this huge platform. Now they're like, okay, what do I do with it? And what they need now more than anything is your support emotionally and financially. If they come out with anything, buy it. Enable them to do this as a career so they can put all of their focus in their music, because this was one of the most talented groups of contestants I've ever seen on American Idol, and all of them have the potential to be successful full-time artists, and we need these musicians in the music scene. So follow them, keep supporting them. The show's over, but their careers are just getting started. Make sure you hang on for the ride. Thank you all for staying with me and watching. We had, I think, 200, 300 views in the first couple of days on the first video. Now we're looking at 10,000 or so on the first day. And that's all thanks to you guys. Please continue to share these things. I'm also starting a podcast. Sophia James is my most recent special guest. You guys stay safe in this quarantine time. Stay home, and I'll see you next time. Okay, I just got some new information, and I'm like 12 hours into editing, and I had to make this addition because I just figured something out, and I'm kind of losing my mind over it. American Idol airs twice. Once for the East Coast, which is Eastern and Central time, at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, and then later again for the West Coast, 8 o'clock Mountain time, and 7 o'clock Pacific time. For the finale, as we know, there was a live vote. If you were on the West Coast, you had to vote during the East Coast broadcast time. If you're on the West Coast, by the time that your episode was playing and broadcasting, it's already done. Voting was done. So ABC warned against this and said, if you are on the West Coast, if you live within Pacific time or Mountain time and you want to vote, you're going to have to vote during the East Coast broadcast. Huge disadvantage for the West Coast. Here's why. If you're on the East Coast, all you need to do to vote is just watch and vote when Ryan tells you to vote. If you're on the West Coast, ABC says you have to follow American Idol's Twitter or basically look up online who made it through during the East Coast broadcast 2 hours before your show's even aired. Find out who made it through and then vote for them without hearing their performances or anything. That means if you're on the West Coast, you had to set your alarm. Huge disadvantage for the West Coast. Now, of the 5 contestants, there were 2 that are from the East Coast time zones. Guess who those 2 people were? The remaining 3 were from the West Coast time zones. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, see you next year.